Yo, what's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, July 8th. We got Adam Peake coming in. We got Corey Connors.
Hi.
You got me, Avelio Matos. Just screwing around here with some goofy things. What's up, Corey? How's it going? I guess let's talk about the topic first. So let people know what we're going to talk about, and then we get into whatever we're going to jabber about.
Enough about me. Let's move on.
Enough about you, Corey. You take up the whole show. Today we're covering packaging that you keep, right? And there's people that collect packaging. There's people that just buy packaging. There's people that buy stuff just for the packaging. And then there was an article that came out that was like, these are the reasons that people collect packaging. And it was like, oh, because you're intelligent and because you're sensitive.
Handsome, stuff like that.
Yeah, because you're handsome. Yeah, it was silly. Right. But I think, the concept here is like, can you design packaging to be collected? What can you do to make packaging more collectible? And I guess the question then is like, should you be doing this, or should you be focusing on making packaging that's recyclable? But we'll get to that in a minute. Back to you, Corey. How you doing?
Really good. I love this topic. It's right up our alley.
Dude, I've got so much packaging. It's ridiculous.
I just, as you know, went through a job change recently and totally gutted my office. And it was amazing. Amazing the stuff that I had kept. Years, samples that were approved 10 years ago. As packaging people, we keep a ridiculous amount of things in our offices.
We do. We actually, I mean, I don't know.
Second worst show we've done so far.
What?
Making me look like a fool.
We haven't talked about pillows or anything.
We got special effects come in.
We talk about pillow stack.
I don't know, man. Like, and then Adam, man, what's up? You're
cue the intro music. Let's get this thing going. I can take it away. Off on a natural charge, bon voyage. Yeah, from the home of the Dodgers, Brooklyn squad, Wu-Tang Killer bees on the... Sorry.
We got, all right, so you collect some packaging.
I do.
So we all have packaging. We've got work-related packaging, and I've got closets, and actually I've got a pallet in my garage.
Really?
I do. I have I take.
Well, you also get a lot of stuff shipped to you from people that asking you to review it, right?
I do that, but
or redesign it.
Yeah. Plus, just with work, right? So like, if I'm working with a brand and
you have a problem.
No, but also like, if I'm working with a couple different brands, they may have different. They may be
have a pallet of packaging in your garage.
I do.
Get it out.
but I went through it yesterday. I was going through it yesterday for a bunch of stuff.
Okay, fine. Keep it there.
Because sometimes you've got to like put together sample kits and send them out to clients and be like, hey, this is a DBOS, like this is an emboss, this is some material that you could probably use, and like give them like an inspirational kit to as you're working through the packaging.
Here's some good ideas for you. Things we've done before, right?
Yeah, stuff we've done before, stuff I've found, just to give them some context. Because sometimes you're working with people that haven't necessarily done some of these things.
Great point.
And you can send them education. Yeah. So a lot of stuff comes in and goes out pretty quick with packaging.
I would say there is a benefit to working for working for label printing, folding carton printing companies, because typically what'll happen is there's a whole closet full of stuff that the company has made that you send a request and say, hey, can you send A, B, C, D, E, F, G? And it gets sent with a letter. So that's how I always did it. Or honestly, I would just go to a store and I find something that they're looking for. Yeah. And I'm like, hello. Is this what you're looking for? This soft touch matte varnish.
It's perfect.
Flash challenge UV. Challenge for me is I'm fully remote, so I've got zero.
I know
place to go, and then anybody that's got stuff is going to be in Europe, and sometimes needs to go to California. Does it make sense?
Yeah, or you can just order it off of, like, if you know what it is,
Mhm.
just order something from Amazon and ship it to them. I mean, it's obviously a bit more expensive, but
let me order you a $800 Dior baseball cap to send you the box.
Easy.
Yeah.
Just write it off, Evelio. Easy.
I'll keep the hat. Be like, hey, here you go.
You're gonna love the packaging.
Tax write off.
All right, man. So what? Congrats, Corey, on the new position.
Thank you, Chuck.
From Chuck McAllister.
Mr. USA, Chuck McAllister.
It's true.
That's right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So packaging that you collect. Like what's some packaging that people typically collect?
Apple boxes, standard. Everybody keeps them for no reason. Yeah. Or Samsung. Yeah. Or pair boxes.
Yeah. Apple. So like, this kind of stuff.
And feels in case like someone's chasing you down the road and you gotta throw 3 out so that they
never know.
Yeah, I've kept this Magic Mouse box. I don't even know how long I've kept this one, but there's even a Magic Mouse in there.
Oh, wow. You don't use one?
I use this one.
Oh, because it's cooler, just like your pen. Do you keep that packaging?
No, but I keep that pen right here. No, man, I think like Apple packaging for sure. I think everybody keeps Apple packaging. I don't know why though. But the truth is, like, this stuff is, it's matte laminated. I think they're moving away from it, but I haven't seen anything.
I've heard they're trying to get away from the plastic coating. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like Google that did, completely plastic free packaging, which is pretty cool.
Really amazing.
This is a PSA though to everybody. Just chuck it. You don't have to keep your Apple packaging. Just throw it away or recycle. Does it get recycled though? That's my question.
I think it could. In the right recycle stream.
Is it like a carton council kind of thing, like a Tetra Pak? You have to send it there?
I don't think so. I mean, it's the coating is very thin, so I think
they were thermoforming those trays for a while.
It's repulpable. That's true. Now it's all paper. Well,
so these are all molded fiber, and then but the outside does have that matte lam.
Can you tear it apart and show it's molded fiber?
Yeah.
Because there was a hot second where it looked like molded fiber and they were doing thermoform plastic and then wrapping it in paper.
No, but here's the thing. Is like, this is the lid. On the inside of the lid to keep the paper from scratching the screen, which the screen already has a protector on it. I think this, no, they used to put a non-woven sheet in here.
Oh, wow.
But let's tear this thing apart.
The great reveal.
Yes.
Wow.
Is it cake?
Corrugated in there. Wow.
It's cake, everybody.
It's cake.
That's an Apple product?
Yes. Yeah, this is an iPad. My kid got an iPad and she's like, here's the packaging.
Evelio, the Bible says to train up a child in the way they should go and they will not depart from it. You've done a great job. Good work.
Well played.
But here's this is kind of cool though. This is actually new to me, which is
looks like
this box is actually corrugated.
Oh wow.
So usually this is rigid gray board, but this is corrugate. You got like a
Ryan Fox switching somewhere. Corrugate.
You got like maybe 350 GSM board.
English.
That then goes around it.
GSM
to give you a nice, and this is like a really nice clean edge, man. That's pretty cool.
Heavy
grams per square meter. Or grams and meters. Tell me points, Evelio.
Yeah.
There's like a ton of glue in here, man. That was insane. But yeah,
see, there's the rub, right? Like, will it actually get recycled because of that? Is it repulpable? And I'd like to know that.
But when this is going, yo, what's up? What's up, JQ?
Hey, JQ.
He's asking glass or plastic containers handy to store stuff in. And yeah, that's the excuse people use. I'm going to keep this I'm
Yeah,
gonna keep this
I'll
jelly
put my
jar
stuff
as
in
my
it.
cup. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally people do, right? But
Yeah, no,
there's
for sure.
we
They,
talked about
for
this
sure.
before, right? There's only so many glass jars that you can keep and reuse. So, like, there's a company called Petite Pot, and I don't have one here, but they sell their products in glass, and it's awesome.
Mhm.
And we have kept a lot of them, and then you keep buying Petite Pot, and it keeps coming in glass, and you're like,
Right.
I need
How
to-
many can you use? Right.
now I can't keep anymore, and there's no curbside recycling for
Yeah.
glass in Utah, and it just ends up getting thrown out.
Hmm.
This is really what's happening, Avelio? You're
I'm
scaring.
I just keep tearing. But this is the insert.
It's
You know, the whole
incredible
underside
design.
is like one big giant piece of origami, and it even has like these little locking tabs here to keep it, to protect it. Yeah, because it's keeping that pressure off of this bottom panel. But yeah,
And
it's
it's
all,
insert paper too.
what's that?
Is the insert paper the white?
This? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just tore it here.
Oh, nice.
So
It's completely
when I was-
paper inside.
when I was growing up, my grandpa used to he would take the lids of a glass jar. So he'd take the metal lid and he would screw it to the underside of a counter or like a shelf in his shop. And then he would put stuff in the jar and he would store it like that, suspended in the air. And I
Yeah.
always thought that was a really cool way to reuse glass jars. So hot tip for today.
Hot tip.
Hot tip. Coming in.
Yeah, but that's
Coming-
but like,
coming in
all right,
hot.
so like that's Apple packaging, right? So people keep it. I don't know why people keep it. It's just so nice. But again, the outside of this is plastic. So I know this is not a recycling show at the moment, but when this is going through and it scans and it's being separated at the MRF, does this scan as paper or as plastic? Because the thing it's scanning is plastic.
Because it's 3D. There's the rub, right?
Just wish there was like some sort of plastic expert in like the US that might be tuning in. That
Yeah.
could chime in on this particular situation.
Does
Yeah.
anybody know
Have
anybody like that?
overlaminate, like a PET
So-
overlam on paper.
Jonathan Quinn, as
JQ in house.
as this goes through the MRF, does something that's plastic laminated, does that get separated to plastic or does that get separated to paper?
The people need to know.
Well, I like
Mm.
Hugh's comment. Those tiramisu containers are great glasses to drink out of. But then to Avelio's point, how many Italian-made single-serve tiramisu glass
I've got like
containers
10 of these.
could you use? And I think
I've
the
gotten to the point where I
answer.
don't even want to eat jelly anymore. yeah, but I like that. That's that.
You can start
on
making
mark.
your own jelly.
And then I can can them. Bam.
Yeah. You can get into
What,
canning.
what other packaging do you? All right, so that's Apple stuff. Like people keep it all the time. So like, what other packaging do you keep?
I keep packaging primarily, I think, primarily for work. I find it
Yeah.
interesting and I talk about it, but that's not normal. I think the normal reason would be resale value. That's
Okay.
probably the second thing. So it's probably the reason why I would keep my Apple products is I'm going to sell it.
Have
I'm
you
gonna put it
sold
back in the
an Apple
box.
product recently?
I'm not like in the last 2 or 3 years, but I used to. I would every year I would take it and I would list it on Craigslist or whatever.
Mhm.
Well, you have an iPhone 6 still, right?
A 3GS. So, but like shoes, for example, I've
Mhm.
talked about this a lot.
That's a big deal in the
It's a
industry,
really
right?
big deal. You're talking about a difference in resale value on the market of $50, $60, $100 sometimes just to have the box.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so, and people think that's stupid, and it probably is, but if you're gonna used to be that there wasn't an ability to authenticate if the shoes were real or not. They do now.
Oh.
eBay does, Goat does, StockX does, but
Nice,
that
I
was
like the
kind of a
smell
way
one.
to do it. What's that?
I've seen those guys. They smell the shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like smack it and then they smell it. It's so interesting.
Correct.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, it's so
'Cause
that
it
was
sounds
the
different.
way,
It's
and it's
fake.
just part of the experience now is the
Mhm.
shoebox, even though you can like you don't need the shoebox any longer, especially for like D2C stuff.
JQ is saying that it will most likely end up being sorted out of the paper stream. So
Definitely maybe.
definitely maybe. this packaging that's got a film lamination of plastic, as it gets scanned, will probably go towards plastic.
Well, there's
right?
still a lot of people in the line too, right? That are going to grab it and say paper.
Sometimes some Murphs have people.
Dude, you know how
yeah.
quickly that stuff moves by for them to be like, oh my God, that's an
Oh, I
Apple
know.
box. Yeah. Like,
I'm
Well,
going to keep that.
hopefully
they're the
Apple
ones
will.
that are pulling out like, garden hoses, Christmas lights, all the stupid stuff. When they see a little box, they're like, they don't have time for that.
Doesn't matter.
Hopefully,
I don't know, like, what
Apple-
else?
But like I
for
kept, for example, like I kept this box and the candle
No, no.
because I had this stupid idea that I was like, this is a one-off kind of deal. I've never lit the candle. It's still fully intact. And in my head, I was like, maybe this will have some sort of market value, which it doesn't. It was stupid.
It doesn't.
But it's funny.
I remember I bought the Liquid Death NFTs.
Yeah, I had one of those too, and
And
they have
did
no
nothing.
value. But I kept it in
Zero.
the packaging because I was like, well, maybe I don't really want to burn this candle, so maybe I can resell this. And
Yeah.
now it's just something to talk about on the internet.
Exactly. Same as this. I've got this armless Palmer tea. They got sued, and they renamed it. I think it's like dead billionaire golfer or
Dead
something.
billionaire golfer here. Yeah,
So-
and I have like a can of unopened Coke from the Paris Olympics that I just in my head I'm like, yeah, like that kind of stuff. Michael, maybe this will have value. I guess I'll keep it. And then usually every couple of years I'm like,
Ooh.
has no value. I'm going to throw it away or donate it to Fred Richards.
But I know a ton of people that collect Coke cans from, when they release special things like that. Like if there's like
Yeah.
Marvel on it, like I don't
I
know.
got this in China.
Yeah.
You know
There's
what? Millions of people have those in China.
Right, but to me, it was really cool because that was my first trip there. It was 15 years ago. It was
like
awesome.
toy
Yeah.
packaging, for example. Like I bought this and I kept it in the packaging because I
Mhm.
liked the packaging. But there are people who like toy packaging is another thing.
Yeah.
That when those new Hot Wheel cars or when I worked at Walgreens, people would show up. They knew when the truck showed up, and they would go through all of the boxes of cars looking for the thing to sell on eBay. This was in 2003.
Wow.
So, and it had to be intact. The packaging had to be nice. Like that was so I think there's still a lot of value in the packaging, and that's probably another reason why people keep it.
Yeah. JQ saying that he had to throw away all of his iPhone boxes. He had like 35 of those things.
Jeez.
But that's just, like we keep a bunch of stuff. Like I keep, same thing, Corey. I kept this box. I got this in Finland.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like this, at a jewelry store. It tells like this whole story. Thousands of people have this box in Finland. But yeah, it was cool to me.
I kept a pack of Denver Nuggets face masks from COVID in the packaging. Never used them. I just as like a memory because I thought this is going to pass, and at some point in time, I'm going to be like, "Hey, I have Denver Nuggets face masks. I don't know why. It's totally irrational. Like Jay Quinn, JQ keeping all the Clemson national championship Coke bottles and cans, totally irrational. Why would you do that? I mean,
He's a fan. People
Exactly.
collect things.
Yeah, but there's like an emotional tie. I don't know. I know you've got a box of cards. I got this box of Garbage Pail Kid, Beyond the Streets, which has like Banksy and a bunch of other people cards, which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
really? That's neat. Walgreens receipts. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, this is a box of cards with like a bunch of unopened from 2019.
Yeah.
I just have this.
But why? All right. So before we get to I guess besides getting to the but why part is like you both have packaging. I've got packaging. I think we all have packaging. There's really no reason for it other than there's like some kind of emotional connection to the packaging, the day that you got it, the person you got it from.
Right.
That's all nice and sweet, I guess. But what do you do with it? Like, at what point do you throw it away? At what point is it too much? And just looking at this article from a mag, it's a website called vegoutmag.com. The people that collect packaging, according to this, is that they're natural planners, right? They save it just in case. They're emotionally attached to potential. Right? So none of this is negative. It's like,
Ooh, that's
you guys are
interesting.
amazing. Right? Saving packaging can sometimes be about holding on to the possibilities that we associate with new things. They value resourcefulness. If you're someone who grew up in a household where nothing was wasted, not plastic bags, not twist ties, not even wrapping paper, this one probably hits home. There's a lot of M dashes in this article. They lean towards perfectionism. If you collect packaging, you're a perfectionist. You don't have a problem. You're not a hoarder. Sometimes a refusal to throw out packaging has less to do with utility and more to do with order. You're a sentimental minimalist.
Not a minimalist.
This
You have a pallet of trash in your
does
garage.
not make sense. Yeah.
Remember when I said, like, I've minimized my office? Here's some things I've added. And Avelli was like, that's maximum. It's not
That's maximizing. Yeah.
Yeah. They struggle with decision fatigue. You know,
True.
tossing packaging requires a decision.
Yes.
Yeah. Throw this shit away. They feel safe when they're surrounded by what ifs. Here's the deepest layer. Some people save packaging because it gives them a sense of safety and control. Life is unpredictable, messy, and chaotic. But that box is a controlled environment. It's predictable.
like ChatGPT wrote this for you. Avelli was like, let's go to this article that I wrote this on Substack from ChatGPT.
I did not write this. This is on some website.
What's an M dash? Yeah, Chris is explaining it here. Oh, it's AI. Okay.
M dashes are they separate. It's like it's kind of like a semicolon where it separates two thoughts in the same sentence. It's like a pause, it's a big pause. But ChatGPT loves them.
And
And
maybe ChatGPT should stop being so sentimental about M dashes.
ChatGPT definitely wrote that article, and somebody prompted like,
no, I don't want to say that because I don't want to say that this writer for this magazine or this website.
Wait, Matt, are you for real? I don't know. Is this actually valuable? I don't know. Matt just said sports card packaging, keeping them in the packs, drastically increases value.
Am I valuable, Matt Hensley?
I've even seen them take a pack of cards, Pokemon or sports cards, and put them in a case, like a rated case, you know, and then they'll break it 20 years later to open the pack.
I think you should just burn
that
it.
with this though. I'm gonna pack this up and then put a time lock safe on my Wu-Tang ODB packaging.
Yeah.
There's a company on YouTube that does like they'll open up a pack, they'll sell it, they'll be like, all right, here's what we're selling today. They're Pokemon, baseball, whatever cards, and you go online, you bid for a pack that's unopened, and then you've got the winning bid, Corey. You pay for it online, and then they open it for you in front of everybody.
That's really
and
cool.
then they mail it to you. And that company's, I don't know, I think it's a billion at this point. It's insane, like the amount of money these guys are making.
If anyone wants to send
playing the lottery
for packs of cards and Avelio money for his Garbage Pail Kids card, if it's $1 billion, we'll be there.
We are there.
Yeah.
No, I think the other thing too, like in like luxury retail, you can go on Poshmark, on Etsy, on a lot of these websites that resell things. And I don't know, I've got some like some of this packaging, you know, like some of this retail packaging, like this kind of stuff that has like special features, whether it's like embossed, debossed, you know, flocking.
That's really cool.
Those products sell on
your box
these websites for like $200-$300 for an empty box, which is insane to me.
How much would this empty box sell for, do we think?
Dozens of cents.
Dozens, yeah, for sure.
Solid, right?
Well, I do have
put it on Poshmark.
I do have a hard stop here at 8:00.
No!
If I just
Same.
I just want to let you know.
Ugh.
All right, guys. So if you've
We
got
need to
what's
continue
the
this.
packaging that you collect, I'd love to know what kind of packaging you guys collect out there. Throw it in the comments. I don't know, Chris Olson. I think you collect iPhone packaging. I think we can safely say that everybody does.
I collect cheese packaging.
You collect
Cheese
what?
and phones,
Just cheese curd packaging. That's it.
cheese bags.
Just the string cheese wrappers. You've got a photo album. Well, speaking of photo albums, Ryan Fox, who joins on the show, he's got a photo album full of BMCs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So the little circles on the bottom of the box doesn't tell you who made them.
quite a collection.
He cuts those out and puts them in his photo album. He takes the pictures of his family out and puts these boxes in.
Yeah.
So,
BM, see you later, family. Right,
all
guys?
right. See you guys. Yeah.
BM-C.